Master, Zadie, Father, everyone's sitting in the room, and God has spoken. And the child says, but how has God spoken, my child? He has
told us. How has he told us? It's very simple. How does God help you? Survival on this planet is for the better understanding of knowledge and the truth of knowledge in order to base your judgment on. There you go. God is with you all the time. He gave us the assets to know better. He is living through us. You are the word of God. If you speak the truth and you do what's right and you make decisions and you make mistakes, that's okay. In order to learn and to move forward, God had to fumble for billions. Imagine if God came in here and just built us like that. No. He made every mistake anybody has ever done, and he's still sitting up there going, smoking a joint or doing a little acid. But because he's in full control of all the little items, tiniest, if he knows he can't do acid because it delusionized everything, then he doesn't do it. He puts that somewhere else. He puts that acid in your eyes to see. And I'm talking, and he says, you want to smoke weed? He says, you smoke weed. He says, you have to understand all these things. He says, how can you come forward into the realm and help us advance into this universe that I learned from, and I'm still learning today? Because they are. They created the system. However the system came to be, we have to understand the basic, here's a ball, and here's a ball, and these are all information centers. Because with information, we can conquer. We've made it to here. I'm alive 80 years, I saw 80 years, 50 years, I saw 50 years of sunrise, I saw 50 years of sundown, I've seen people taking advantage for what reason, for realities that only exist in their own mind, for their own needs, and we've been put into positions that we have no choice to make these choices. That's what it is. Now we came to a point that we've learned up to here, and we can't take it anymore. Then why does God make suffering? He didn't make suffering. Man created the suffering, and we're just going through that system. It's terrible. At the same time, he could have created this also. What everybody's saying is there's a screen in between born on this side of the earth and that side of the earth. And one side of the earth, your energy has been split apart. Okay? Same thoughts, everything's been duplicated. Sorry, everything's been duplicated, not split apart. So we need twice as much of everything. Everything is split, we need twice as much. Number one has been split in half. So what does that mean? Does it mean you have half? No, you have twice as much. You can't split a word in half. If I say, okay, to everybody, hallelujah, and 100 people here, all of a sudden, one made 100 ears here, hallelujah. You're not losing, but now everybody knows the secret. Raphael 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. I can't always pinpoint what I want to, and I'm think the same. I just know the round. I'm not cutting out any corners. I'm rather putting a diamond's best friend, because I am showing you the greatest diameter of the circle is having a square. This is the greatest diameter of the circle, not this. This is the greatest diameter of the circle, not this. In this position, we show 4, 5, and 6. Okay, this is where 4, 5, and 6 is. Now, if I put it in this position, this is where 4, 5, and 6 is. In the area of 3 and 7. You see the way it looks where 3 and 7, it looks so much shorter than 1 to 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I took 4, 5, and 6, and I put it in a 3, 7 position. It's shorter, looks shorter than this one. This is my greatest diameter. 1 and 9, right? I can do anything I want. So Venus is here and here. Venus only shows up once. Excuse me, Venus shows up twice in cards. Venus shows up by herself, and she shows up with Alpha over here. Okay, that's what happens in cards. The 1 card, the 2 card, and the 3 card. Once you have the 1, the 2, and the 3, you have the 1 all the way around. You have the 2 here. You have the 2 here. You have the opposite of all the 2, so 1 and 2 create everything. You have 2 at the greatest diameter. You have 2 in all the corners, and 2 at the greatest diameter. 2 once, 2 twice, 2 3 times. All you need is once and twice. I take this one, I put it here. Right? Watch this. I take this one, and I put it there. The other one moves down there, the other one moves down there. So I move it twice, and I take up 8, while this one always takes up 1. Where am I going with any of this? I'm trying to sell some clothing, and I'm talking about the planets in the universe, because when you step into what you believe, your conscience starts to believe that system, starts to believe these people who are following the truth. The items I design are not only based on just great designs. Even if they're not, there's millions of designs out there. That's not the political issue. Yesterday I was asked, why don't you go and do this with it? And why don't you go with it? I says, I need to sell these items, okay, as someone's incision into their own body, where they believe the system that I see, that we all see the same thing, and that we're coming together. We're coming together, we're wearing that clothes, we can advance, not because we can advance that, but we have that reality. Once you dress into a new suit, if I told you, if the doctor tells you something and you believe it so much and it seems to be working, except he tells you there's a few side effects, but you've lived to live with that more than the other thing, you're a believer, right? What does it take to make you a believer? When you wear the suits, you now say, well, this is not just a skirt. This is more than a skirt. The Earth is 7,920 divided by 2 equals to 3,960. 1,440 takes away the Earth center for the time of man of 1,440 minutes, but we cannot cut the center in half. We have to use the whole center, so it goes down into the half 3,960 of the second half of 7,920, taking away 1,440. For 720 from the other half. So if we take away 720 from 3960 minus 720, we end up with the other part of the Earth is at 3240, and this part of the Earth is at 3960 plus your side of the 720 equals to 4680. Okay, that's what it equals to. So it becomes 3960 plus your half and my half together, right? Inside of you is 1,440 equals to the number in the sun. But that number in the sun that I did in a previous video shows that it belongs to the top half, okay? But the reality is it is the top half, because if top half is 3960 plus 720 equals to 4620 plus 3240, is it? Equals to 7920, and 3240 is 180 by 180. 180 degrees by 180 degrees is 10-degree increments, or is it 6-degree increments? Why? Because to have 6-degree increments, okay, is to come on the other side of this piece over here, right? Just the other side. And this side, because the cord, let me see this. The cord that goes around this, right? I need to wrap this cord all the way onto the other side. And I need the distance to each side, and then I need the U part in order to spin this thing, right? In order to spin this. See the two cords, what I'm doing? Right? And I'm raising and I'm lowering the sun. So I have to put one on this side here, right? Right? But do I need one on this side over here? Is it a continuous? Right? Is it just one continuous? Right? And as it continues, right? As it continues, hold on a second, let me show you this. Right? As it continues, it's moving the Earth over at the same time, and the sun is going up and down, but only on one side. Actually, maybe I'm going to have to lower it for the Earth, and now it can pass on to the other side, right? Can't go down to the middle. Everything passes through the middle. The oil, the gas, the pen writer. We have to keep writing history. Where was I with the next one? So we did all these calculations. So I did in the calculation that one side was 5,400, and that the other side was 2920. Let me see this. 7920 minus 5,400 equals to 2520. So I increased the size of that sun, and I moved this area space, I increased the size of the area space using, you understand what I'm saying? If I split something in half, right, and I need the half, and the half is valued at 2,160, I will have to put that number at 2,160 on the other side. I put 1,440 on the other side. I'm going to have to redo a video and explain what I'm seeing, because I'm having different visions of calculations. Although they all work the calculations, it's 700. It's the value is 7. There's 3 values for 2,116. 2,160 divided by 3, 720. A day and a half. 720, half a day times 3 is 216. So 216 parts. This number equals to a day and a half. A day and a half is 36 hours. That's the size of your moon calculation of 2160. If you know where I'm coming from in the videos where they show a moon, 2160. And remember, 2 times 2160 is 432, and that's your vibration with inside Mars. Pretty funny, eh? Pretty funny. Raphael, thank you. And sorry for all these videos, but I just have to say what's in my mind. You might hear something. I might come up with one good video from these 5 different videos. And this is who I am. That's how I do my work. And that's how I learn, by just keep on talking, because who am I going to talk to here that's going to remember? And I only talk to one person, that's not like talking to a million people. You know, if I drop 1,000,000 marbles on the floor and 1,000,000 people pass by, one person might pick up 100 while 100 might pick up none. Raphael, thank you for watching.